right, so if your nozzles for your windshield wiper fluid isn't spraying out really good, what you can probably do is pull them out, and then I've got them out right here. Get an air compressor. We're gonna try blowing these out, see if there's any corrosion in there. If that doesn't work, then we can get them replaced, but that's just an alternative instead of just throwing a new part in there. But we'll try that out first. Now if the fluid's coming out even afterwards, even if you replace it, if it's still weak, it could be the pump itself. So, and then opening the cowl, look what I find. Pair of pliers. All right, so in these 8th gen Civics, if you're gonna replace the VTEC solenoid gasket, PCV valves and stuff back here, you're gonna need to take this cowl cover off, the plastic one, and then this metal one right here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fasteners. I did drop one back there. That's right, there's only 8 in here. So let me get this moved out of the way. All right, so there's a 10 mil holding this bracket on. You'll need to take that off and then pull the hose clamp off. Slide that up. Now this one's stuck on there pretty good, so what I'm gonna use is a Icon hose clamp plier. Hopefully, just like that, it's off. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this one off too. This one does have a little, has these walls around it, so I can't really grip it to break that seal off in there. Let's see if I can turn it. So this one I'm gonna have to get some kind of pick on there and get that off. Okay, so I used the flat tip pick. So now that seal's broken, I didn't want to damage this, just in case. We want to save this, but this hose is pretty old, so we'll take a look and see. All right, so I'm kind of curious if this 3/8 non-brushless, just regular 20-volt lithium Bauer with a 1.5 amp hour battery would take off a lug nut. And it does. All right, so just taking the bracketry off of that's above this motor mount right here, or transmission mount, since this side's is transmission, but so it's got a little stubby. So I've got these 2 bolts right here off already. There's one back here underneath this fuse box. Break it loose. I'm running the, this is the SunX stubby socket, so perfect for those tight places. So I got the bracket off. All that's left is just the mounting bolts now for the mount itself. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here in a bit, we'll go ahead and get the jack up there and support it up. So, and then we'll pull that off. All right, so I got the transmission supported below. Go ahead and take out these mountain bolts. So like I said, we'll take out this one, the one back here, and then two on the side of this bracket as well. And we'll see if this bower does the job. Yep. So we'll just loosen them up. So it looks like this bower can't do the ones that go to the body. We may need a 1/2 inch, but let's see if the stubby does it. Put on power mode 3. That is not going. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Let's try the 1/2 inch stubby impact. I might just need to break out the ratchet, which is what I'll do. Yep. So sometimes you just need that leverage. All right, just to save time, we're going to take these off. Now with these when you have a bunch of extensions on there, you do lose a lot of torque. So, but I only got the CP 2.5 battery on there. All right. Let's see what we got here. Tight on squeeze. We'll get those threads cleaned up. We're going to take those top bolts out. Okay, so the little mounting plate, we'll save that along with the rest of this stuff. There's the other bolts. So you can clearly see here, it's torn right here all the way. So definitely a lot of play in there. And look at that. So there's that. Now the only reason I took this off is I'm gonna get it cleaned up, but we'll reuse this. So I forgot to mention that, but it's got a lot of oil and grease on there, so we're gonna get that cleaned off real quick. All right, so got it all cleaned off. Looks a lot better now. So we'll get that put back on. Alright, so there's the new mounts versus the old one. So, big difference. We're gonna get these threads cleaned up. A lot of corrosion on them. All right, so I got them that mount back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mounting bolts. Okay, and then we'll get those torqued down here in a second. All right, guys, if you got a 2006 to I believe 11 Honda Civic, and with the premium sound that comes with the factory subwoofer, the factory one that on our vehicle went out, or the one I'm working on. So what I did was I ordered this Pile PLPW8D. This one does fit into this factory ring right here. So as you can see, it drops right in. I do not believe we'll have to use these rings, but I'll test fit everything, and then I'll add that to there. I did get some of these connectors to connect to the factory harnesses, and then I'll use these leads to go into here. All right. If you're changing the transmission line filter, so this head cap right here goes in this direction to that hose. It's down on the side over here, but I'll get it all connected, so I'll show you. But this side, that doesn't have this hat on there, goes back towards the car into the transmission. So this line right here, there's another rubber hose that will go right here, and it connects there, and And this will sit in this cradle right here, and it has this cover that goes over it. So what I did was I took a paint marker and I put an arrow so that way I remember which direction it goes into. There's the old one right there. So if you look in the direction that goes back into the transmission, that's where the filter was. That's how you'll know it sits. And I just picked this off Amazon. It's relatively cheap. It's under $10. So good preventative maintenance if you got a Honda Civic 06 to 11. Make sure you change these out periodically. Don't just change the fluid, because if this has contaminants in it, I mean, it's just going to pass through and slowly carry that back in. All right, I'm going to change out the valve cover on this one. Well, actually, it does seem okay, but it's got some leak back there, so I'm going to change that out. Not sure when it was done last. I'm going to go ahead and change out this motor mount right here too. So got a few things. Got the motor mount and we got the torque dampener down on the bottom as well. And then I'm waiting on the gasket for VTEC solenoid. But hopefully once I change out that engine mount, that'll resolve this belt issue here. So you see here it's tearing up, and I believe that's from the engine kind of pivoting. So it's rubbing on somewhere, but once I get that going, I'll figure out the rest as far as I'll crank the motor and see where it's rubbing.